friends, and welcome back. Today we are going to be getting into my September Book of the Month pick. Now, I know it is not even September anymore. It kind of took me a while to get to this book and to review it for you. So I apologize for not getting this out in September, but we are going to get into a review of the book that I picked for September. So I actually was really stuck on two books that I wanted for Book of the Month for September. So they had a really good selection of books last month, and I actually had to do a coin flip because I just couldn't pick between the two. Now, I know I could have just gotten them both, but I am trying to be reasonable here. I do not need to add a bunch of books to my ever-growing pile, so I told myself I had to pick one, and since I couldn't pick on my own, I did a coin flip, and fate selected The Fortunes of Jaded Women. So the other book that I really was interested in was Killers of a Certain Age, and I still really want to read that book, to be honest, and I've been seeing a lot of incredible things about it on Goodreads and BookTube, so I will get there at some point. I just did not pick it last month. Something that is really fun about Book of the Month Club is that with each purchase, you get to a different level of friendship with them. And with those levels comes different perks. So since this was my third Book of the Month purchase, I got designated as the friend level. And after 1 year, I think it is, you become their BFF or their best friend. And that has its own perks as well. What I really loved about my purchase this month was that it unlocked friendship level with them, and I got to see some of those perks that I hadn't yet had available. So for example, it unlocked the Blue Box Boutique, and I'm going to insert some clips here so that you can see the items that are currently available in the Blue Box Boutique, but I thought that it was super cute and super fun to kind of have some items that I could purchase if I wanted to. I'm talking socks, stickers, shirts, bags. There are just some really cute items that are available, and I can also add additional books to my monthly box for a discounted price, I think, with this new level of friendship with them. So that is just something that is super fun, and you already know I am going for that BFF status. I want the perks that come with the year of purchases. Another really fun thing that I forgot to mention is that you also get a bookmark in your box every month, and it has a cute little quote or something like that on it. So for the one that I got in my box this month, it says, "Friends don't let friends dog ear books." I absolutely love this. I think that it is super fun, and I'm gonna go on kind of a tangent here. I actually saw a discussion happening on TikTok just the other day where people were discussing what kind of bookmarker they are, like how they bookmark something. So after this thread, I realized that I am one of the people that is designated as someone who just uses anything. So I will use whatever is closest to me at the time that I am putting that book down for the first time, and that becomes my bookmark. So if I cannot find a bookmark that I have available in my home in various places, I'll use whatever is closest. A receipt, a business card, I've used a paper towel once, I've used a blade of grass, from a fake plant, of course, but whatever is available, whatever I can find, because sometimes I just need to go, I don't have time to search for a bookmark, it's just one of those things. I'll use whatever is available, and that is safe for my book. And then I started looking through the comments on this thread and was a little appalled because there were people who talked about dog-earing their books. And if you don't know what that means, it's kind of where you like bend the page, I'm not gonna do it, where you bend the page of your book. I know that some people do this, but it makes me cringe. So I need to know, are you a person who has beautiful designated bookmarks that you use every time you set your book down? Are you someone who's like me and you use whatever you can find in the moment and you roll with that? Or are you a dog ear person? And just a full disclaimer here, I am a full paying customer for Book of the Month. I just like to share it with you because I really enjoy this monthly service, and I really love the selection of books that are available and just enjoy sharing my reviews with you. I do have a code down below that you can use to sign up for just $5 if you are interested, and it just helps me get additional discounts on books if you use my link. And I just wanted to be fully transparent in that, and thank you all so much. Let's get into the review. So this is a pretty new book. It actually just released in September, and it is a debut novel for the author, so that is so fun. I love when we see new authors come into the mix, and to be able to read something from someone who has just released their first book. Absolutely love it. So for this book, we are following a group of Vietnamese women, and they are living in California, in Little Saigon, I believe it's called, and they are cursed by an old witch. The curse is that this family of Duong women will only ever be able to have girls as children. So each generation will only have additional girls. And the reason that that's a curse is because in this situation, only boys or men can invite the spirits of family members back into their home. So with only having girls as children, it kind of means that their spirits are just going to be like stuck in a limbo, and they'll never be able to come back into the homes of their family members. There are a few leading ladies that we follow in this book, and they are all very superstitious. Not a little stitious. Michael Scott from The Office reference. I just had to add that for my Office people. But they are all dealing with their own lives, their own children, and their own drama. But most importantly, they all have their own psychic. And one of these sisters' psychics tells her that the family as a whole is going to deal with one death, one marriage, and one birth of a child all in 1 year. This book dives into the troubled relationships between the sisters and their mothers, and the troubled relationships between those mothers and their mothers. It is kind of a multi-generational dysfunction. Let's dive into the things that I liked and did not like about this book. Likes first, of course. So something that I really liked about this book was the representation of Vietnamese women and their culture. I really appreciated the way that the author shared some struggles that they faced in immigrating to America and some of the hardships that immigrants may have with culture and with such a big change. So I really loved that. And I did feel like this was a super easy book to get through. It was not a heavy or hard book to get through by any means. It was pretty light, pretty enjoyable, and easy to read. And another thing that I really liked was actually the cover of this book. I know that that sounds so silly, but I just loved the way that it looks, the homes, the families, the color. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Now for my dislikes, unfortunately. But to share my full and honest review, I do like to tell you the things that I didn't really enjoy about books. So for this book, there were like 6 or 8 main characters, and I just didn't really enjoy having that many main characters. It was kind of hard to follow and kind of hard to really connect with the characters because it did change every chapter, and I just felt like from chapter to chapter I was trying to remember whose story was whose, what was going on, what family and dynamic we were reading in that section. I do think that annotating at the beginning of the book might have helped, and to highlight and kind of tab the introduction to those characters. I just didn't really feel like annotating while reading this book, and I just really didn't connect with the characters because there were so many and it switched every chapter. This book can pretty much be broken into 2 halves. In the first half of the book, or in one half of the book, we're learning about the second generation of Duong women, and then the other half of the book is about the third generation of Duong women. I was also really hoping that this book was going to focus more on the witch's curse and breaking that. But what this was actually about was the dysfunction between family members and their lives. And it was not a bad plot. It just wasn't really what I was hoping for while reading this. It really reminded me of Crazy Rich Asians, and that's not a bad storyline or book. I actually really enjoyed Crazy Rich Asians when I read it. It just has its its time and place, and that wasn't quite what I was looking for or hoping for while reading this. So for our final review, I am going to give this book 3 stars. I do think that it was a fantastic debut novel for the author. It was just a little hard to follow with all of the main characters, and I did find it a little bit dull at times. It just wasn't quite what I was looking for. Like I said, I would have preferred if we followed the curse and the witch a little bit more and trying to break that curse rather than focusing on a dysfunctional family and a competitive family. But if you are someone who enjoyed Crazy Rich Asians and likes that type of storyline, you will definitely enjoy this one. It was a good book, just not quite what I was looking for. So now you know all of my thoughts and feelings about The Fortunes of Jaded Women. Definitely give it a try if you enjoyed Crazy Rich Asians. Just know what you're getting into before you read it. Like I said, my expectations were just for something different, but it is not a bad book. So if you are looking for a dysfunctional competitive family, this is your pick. And like I said earlier, I do have a link down below where if you are interested, you can use that link to sign up for Book of the Month Club, and you can get it at a discounted price, and that also helps me with some future books, which I would really appreciate. And I do have some other links down below if you'd like to connect with me on Goodreads and TikTok. I would appreciate it. I love communicating with you guys. As always, let me know if you have any books that you would like for me to read and review. And I do also have my October Book of the Month pick here, so I will be getting that to you soon, hopefully a little faster than my September pick, but no promises. Thank you all so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!